I was lying in my hotel bed, listening to the couple next door getting all lovey-dovey, and I couldn't fall asleep. What the hell kind of soundproofing is this place using anyway? I glanced at the time, 3:30 a.m. Frustrated, I fumbled for my lighter and lit a post-coital smoke for the guy next door. Seriously, couldn't you guys have gotten your business done earlier? This isn't exactly quiet hours. Bang! The door next door was kicked open, followed by screams, curses, and the sound of stuff being smashed. Whoa, looks like someone's catching a side chick. I quickly threw on some clothes and went to the hallway to see what was happening. The door across the way was wide open and I peeked inside. I saw a woman, totally naked, getting her hair pulled and slapped. The side chick was crying her eyes out, looked so pitiful. Last time I saw her cry like that was when I proposed to her. I rushed into the room, not to rescue my fiancé, but to punch the man who was just standing there looking like he wanted to say something, right in the face. Everyone in the room was dumbfounded. Who are you? The wife asked, her hand paused from slapping. Nah, you good, keep going. Don't mind me. I wanted to punch him again, but two other guys grabbed me. I held up my hands, like, okay, I'm done, and then pointed at the crying woman on the floor. That's my fiancé. The expressions on everyone's faces were priceless. I've seen people catch side pieces, but never a double team. I lit another cigarette. You slap my girl, I hit your dude. It's only fair since everyone's cheating, right? Dude, chill, let's talk this out. You don't have to get all violent. One of the guys, a friend of the husband, stepped in front of me, trying to smooth things over. Hey, do you have any idea who you're talking to? He didn't expect me to be so confrontational. He raised an eyebrow. You want to fight? I was pissed off, ready to fight anyone. Before he could say anything else, my fist was in his face. 3 minutes later, everyone in the room was exhausted from the brawl. I was sporting a black eye and a bloody eyebrow, but it didn't hurt at all. I just sat in the corner, smoking a cigarette. The wife came over, crouched down next to me, and looked at the cigarette in my right hand, like she was thinking really hard about something. Spit it out. She laughed, and she actually had a nice smile. What do you want to do about this? I'm easy. You tell me, what do you want? I said, acting like I didn't care. We should hook up. That would be revenge on my husband and your girlfriend. It'd be even. The cigarette I was smoking dropped to the floor. I couldn't have come up with that if you gave me 1,000 shots of espresso. Wait, are you for real, lady? I stared at her, like she was crazy. What do you mean? She wasn't mad, maybe she was just crazy from getting cheated on. Your husband cheated because my girlfriend is prettier and better in bed. I already have my girl, why would I want to hook up with you? That must have hit a nerve. She frowned. What's that supposed to mean? I took a good look at her. Honestly, she wasn't bad. She kind of resembled my girlfriend, just a few years older. I was saying all this because I was just full of anger. I wanted to yell at her for not controlling her husband, but I had no right, because I didn't control my girl either. Why would you go to a dive bar if you're used to a 5-star restaurant? Get out! All of you, just get out! She blew up, it was kinda scary. My fiancée, Sarah, sat across from me, holding a wet washcloth to her swollen cheek. Why? I didn't look up. I didn't want to see her face right now. Just seeing her face reminded me of the sounds she was making with some other dude. It just happened. There has to be a reason. Was I not good enough for you? You're a great guy. That set me off. I just couldn't hold it in anymore. I'm a great guy, so you treat me like this? I fly 2,000 miles to handle a client issue, and I find out my girl is cheating? Is that what happens to the great guys? I yelled, throwing stuff around, trying to get the anger out of my system. You always go on trips. After I said yes to your proposal, how many days did you actually spend with me? Oh, for crying out loud. I laughed, filled with bitterness. Why do you think I go on trips? Do you think we're going to pay for our wedding with Monopoly money? Do you think I'm not tired from these long flights? I would love to be home with you. My lips trembled and I fought back tears. And, who the heck is this guy you were getting down with, anyway? He has more money than you and more time. I shook my head and finally understood. Oh, so it's about money? Okay, I get it. Get lost and go lick some rich guy's butt. You're trash. She scoffed. And you have the right to talk? What did I do? What about the scar on your wrist? I instinctively touched my right wrist. I've told you 100 times, I got that when I was a kid. Can you just act normal for a minute? Who hurt you? You're insane. I wasn't just mad, I felt like she was trying to pull some random facts to throw dirt on me. I swear I'd never even thought about another woman, and she was trying to make me feel like the bad guy. After that, I didn't care anymore. Just leave. She didn't move, she just sat there. Get out. She covered her mouth, cried, and slammed the door behind her. I mumbled, yeah, you go cry, but tears were rolling down my own cheeks. I didn't sleep all night, and I totally messed up the client meeting the next day. My client was annoyed with me and the whole trip was a waste. What the heck are you doing? My boss, Mr. Johnson, called me. The client must have complained to him. Nothing. Oh, nothing? Look around, find a bridge, river, or something, and jump off it. Don't hesitate. I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. Don't call me Mr. You can call me grandson. I got a worse scolding from the client than any grandson. What do you think you're doing? I sniffled. Sorry. Seriously, I know what you're capable of. You're always great with tech. This problem wasn't that big. How did you manage to make things so messy? Mr. Johnson, Sarah cheated on me. I caught her yesterday. There was silence on the other end of the line. Wait, dude, your girl cheated on you. Why does that mean you should do a terrible job? Your girl isn't cheating with me. Why are you punishing me? I'm sorry. Oh, for crying out loud. Now what's saying sorry good for? You're not working anymore. Another silence on the phone line. Take a week off, get your head right, and come back when you feel like it. Save the receipts for the hotels and food. I'll take care of it when you get back. He hung up before I could say thanks. I was getting emotional again. I spent the next few days holed up in the hotel, or at the bar, getting wasted, and then stumbling back to the hotel. As soon as I walked into the bar today, I saw a familiar face. It was the wife from the hotel. I don't know why, but I sat down across from her. She narrowed her eyes, saw that it was me, and smiled. Waiter, bring another glass. She poured me half a glass of vodka, poured half a glass for herself, and chugged it right after we clinked glasses. So, you look down on me? I thought she was still mad about the things I'd said to her the other day, but then she said, Do you raise fish? I realized what she was talking about, and finished my drink. She poured me another one. The atmosphere was awkward, and I didn't know what to say. So, what's your name? Luke. Oh wow. My ex-ex's, his name is, also that name. My name's not that common. She must be drunk. That jerk. He was such a loser. Oh, so she's indirectly calling me names. My husband is also a jerk. Seriously, how do I always meet jerks? What's your name? I changed the subject. Fiona. Alright, she has a white person name. We just talked, and then she passed out on the table. I nudged her to make sure she was just sleeping and not dead, and then wondered what I was going to do with her. Sir, excuse me, can you settle your bill first? Huh? Oh, did she not pay? No, sir. I tried nudging Fiona, but she was out cold, and she mumbled, "Stop touching me." I looked at the waiter's professional smile and the trembling lip. I really didn't want him to have to deal with her. How much? It's $882. You can pay $880. Cash or card? Card. I think I was drunk, too, 'cause my speech was slurred. Every time I typed in a number for my PIN code, my heart skipped a beat. That was my hard-earned cash. Can you? Forget it, never mind. I was about to ask for an invoice, but then I thought, if Mr. Johnson saw an $880 expense, he'd freak out. I picked up Fiona and threw her over my shoulder. She was completely passed out, she didn't even try to help, and I was sweating buckets. Where was I gonna take her? And the worst part was, she was breathing hot air on my ear, which was not helping. I put her on a bench, loosened my collar, and took a break. Looking at her red cheeks from all the drinking and the necklace on her neck, a strange idea popped into my head. I turned away and shook my head. No, even if she was the hottest girl in the world, she's not worth $880 for a night. Then, I saw a hotel, all lit up. It was like it was calling to me. "Hi, are you looking for a standard room or a king room?" Whatever, doesn't matter. I just wanted the lady at the front desk to give me a room key. I couldn't carry her anymore, and I felt like she was about to throw up. If she threw up on me, I would go crazy. "Okay," the lady at the front desk looked at Fiona on my back. "I'll give you a king-size room." "Yeah, just do it." The other lady at the front desk looked down and giggled. I guess she'd never seen anyone so eager to get to a room before. I didn't care to explain. If you had to carry a drunk woman who's about to puke, you'd be in a hurry, too. When I finally got her on the bed, I felt a wave of relief. I had only packed one set of clothes. If she got sick all over me, that would be a problem. Okay, just sleep there. I would never do something stupid like in a romantic movie and take off a drunk girl's clothes. That's not real life. Who knows what would happen? I tucked her in, put a bottle of water by the bed, and was about to leave. Then I remembered. I grabbed a piece of paper and a pen and wrote her a message. Drinks $880, room $500, I paid for everything, total $930. When you wake up, send me the money, here's my card number. After that, I quietly closed the door and left. As I walked downstairs, I was still feeling pretty down. I didn't even drink that much, but I spent $930. I hope she'd be honest and pay me back. As I was fanning myself and wiping my sweat by the front desk, I heard the same girl from before whisper, so fast. Huh? I turned around and stared at her. What did you say? Another guy at the front desk quickly explained, takeout, takeout. She was talking about takeout. She's hungry, she said the takeout comes fast. Seriously? I wasn't convinced, but I couldn't argue. I mean, if I was really that fast, I guess that makes sense, but I didn't even do anything. The next day, nothing happened with my bank account. The third day, still nothing. The fourth day, I got a text telling me that it was time to pay my credit card. The fifth day, time to go back to work. I have to say, dealing with that crazy woman for a bit had taken my mind off things and helped me feel a little less depressed. Or maybe it was just that I had something else to worry about. Instead of feeling sad about getting cheated on, I was pissed about losing over $900. I deleted Sarah's number, blocked her, and told myself that it was all in the past. Time to move on. I was back at the office, just another guy who liked to slack off and complain about trips, and leave when it was 5 p.m. But Mr. Johnson said I was like an old tractor. Sometimes I work like crazy, other times I take forever to get things done, sometimes I just break down in the middle of the day. That wasn't it, I was just back to being me, the person I was before I knew Sarah. I thought that my life was going to be boring and yet interesting. Life has a funny way of messing with things. One day, I was at my desk, feet up, munching on a breakfast burrito, clicking away on my keyboard, when I saw Mr. Johnson bowing low to Fiona as they walked into the office. Maybe it was my unique style, but she saw me instantly and smiled. She whispered something to Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson looked awkward and surprised as he walked over to me. "Come to the conference room, the big client wants to talk to you." Me. "Yeah, now go." We sat down in the conference room. Fiona kept staring at me, making Mr. Johnson really confused. "So, let me introduce you guys. This is our new big client, Miss Fiona." Mr. Johnson got up. "This is one of our engineers, Luke." Then, Mr. Johnson looked at Fiona. "Luke is the technical lead. He's not familiar with all of the products. I don't know why you want to see him." "Let's talk about the tech. I like talking about tech," she said, still staring at me. "Okay, you can ask anything you like. Luke and I will answer all your questions." "Can you have lunch with me later?" Fiona asked. "Sure." "You're crazy." The first part was from Mr. Johnson, the second part was from me. "Luke, why did you say that? If we ask you to speak, then speak." Mr. Johnson forced a smile. "Don't worry, miss. Fiona, Luke is a little sick, that's why he said he's crazy. I'll have lunch with you." "It's okay, I was just asking him if he had time." "Yeah, I figured, you must be. What the heck is going on?" Mr. Johnson said a bad word in front of a client for the first time ever. "I want to ask, what did you do to me that night?" She leaned in, really close to me. "What night? What are you talking about?" Mr. Johnson looked at me and then Fiona. He looked very confused. "Let's look at the video." I pulled out my phone and showed her a clip. To avoid any potential problems, I filmed a clip starting from the time I entered the room, to putting the blanket on her, to leaving the room. These days, even couples can be accused of rape. I needed to protect myself. After watching the video, Fiona smirked. I don't know what she was thinking. Mr. Johnson was stretching his neck to try to see what was on the video, but because of the lighting, he couldn't see anything. He just sighed. "Since we're talking about that night, when are you going to pay me back the $930? "What $930? Fiona and Mr. Johnson said together. "You don't know?" "I definitely don't know." I glared at Mr. Johnson. "Who are you talking to?" "I also don't know." She leaned back with a playful smile. "Wait, are we still talking business? Or are you two dating?" "Shut up!" Fiona and I yelled together. "So, you're not gonna pay me back?" "Did I ask you to pay for me?" "I'm out, I'm not working on this project." "If you want to quit, we don't need you." "Enough." Mr. Johnson slammed his hand on the table. "Who do you think is the boss here? This is a huge deal, and you're quitting on me? Are you my father?" Then, he apologized to Fiona. "I'm really sorry, I apologize for him, please reconsider." "Okay, I'll do the project, but he needs to eat with me later." "Sure, I will make him do anything you want, even eat garbage." Mr. Johnson threatened to cut my salary for 3 months, and promised a $20,000 bonus if the project worked out. So I agreed to have lunch with Fiona. "You don't have a Chinese name? It's weird calling you Fiona all the time." "You can call me Nana." "Nah, I'm gonna call you a deadbeat, call you dead." She chuckled, but didn't say anything else. "Thank you for everything, the other day." "Don't mention it. Just pay me back." "Seriously, it's just $900, do you really care that much?" "What do you mean, just $900? My salary is only $8,000 a month. I got dumped by my last girlfriend because I didn't have money, and now you're cheating with some dude. How about this?" She leaned in, acting very flirty. I quickly moved away. "I'll give you $20,000 a month. I'll be your sugar mama." "Lady, you need help." I stood up. If you walk away, I'll cancel the project. You think you scare me? After that, I sat back down. The meal wasn't great. I felt restless around her. Like I owed her money or something, and she was going to make me suffer. We didn't talk much, we just ate. When we were done, she gave me an address and told me to bring the contract the next day so that she could sign it. So easy? People should keep their word. After that deal was done, I wasn't as stressed about the $900. I knew Mr. Johnson was good for his word, and he would give me the $20,000 bonus. That meant I made a lot of extra money this month. The next day, I was flying 2,000 miles again to sign the contract with Ded. Her office was huge. I don't know how Mr. Johnson convinced her to buy our stuff. Today she was wearing business attire. She looked sharp. She wasn't flirty. She seemed serious. After I explained all the details, she asked me some technical questions. This lady really knew her stuff. I was impressed. Of course, tech was my strength. I'm not gonna let her make a fool out of me. I didn't expect you to be so good. Take a good look. I relaxed in my chair, and then quickly straightened up. For some reason, I was uncomfortable around her, but also very relaxed. It felt like being around a frenemy. I wouldn't have done that with other clients. How about this? Quit your job and come work for me. I'll pay you a $20,000 base salary plus bonuses. What do you think? Are you trying to be my sugar mama again? No, you're worth it. No jokes, you should be our tech lead. Nah, I'm good. I waved my hand. I'm good where I am at Mr. Johnson's. Why? Mr. Johnson's only paying you $8,000 a month. You're too talented for him. I was silent for a moment and then explained I won't get into details, but Mr. Johnson and I aren't just boss and employee. I was down and out, and Mr. Johnson helped me. He taught me everything I know about tech. Now that the company is not doing well, I can't just leave. Ded nodded and didn't try to change my mind. If you ever decide to look for a new job, contact me. Sure, I'm never gonna work for you. After that, I signed the contract and left her office. As soon as I got downstairs, Mr. Johnson called me, screaming like a crazy person. What's going on? Don't come back to the office, fly to Chicago, there's a problem with the client. Go check it out. Okay. I didn't complain. I knew the Chicago client was one of our biggest clients. If they had problems that would cost us a lot of money, the company would probably go bankrupt. Luke, come over here and take a look at what kind of mess your software has made. I didn't say anything, I just looked at the software. Nothing was wrong. I tried running the program again, still no problems. If there was a problem, it must be with the source code. I was there from the beginning, I even made some of the modules myself. It's been on the market for years with no issues. Mr. Smith, there's nothing wrong. I didn't sound confident. According to the software, Mr. Smith's company was about to go bankrupt. Luke. Mr. Smith gave a bitter laugh. We've worked together for so long, you've seen my company's size. I can't give you the financial reports, but I know everything's perfect. Now, you're telling me that my company is about to go bankrupt? Mr. Smith, that's not what I'm saying. This software uses big data, AI, for analyzing results. It's not saying that your company is going to go bankrupt for sure, it's just saying that your company is at risk of bankruptcy. Okay, so I spent so much money on this stupid software to get cursed. What does the contract say? Mr. Smith, take a deep breath. Mr. Smith pushed me aside, picked up the landline, asked someone to bring the contract, then flipped the pages and pointed at a clause. If the results are more than 30% inaccurate, then you have to pay, is that right? That's what's written here, right? Then, he flipped to the next page. According to the amount of loss from my company, you have to pay. Is that right? Then he opened his computer. Your software says my company will go bankrupt within 6 months, right? If my company still exists in 6 months, you'll be hearing from me. Mr. Smith, please calm down. This is just a result, you don't have to be so. I don't care about the result, I bought your product, so we're going by the contract. Don't blame me. You better ask Mr. Johnson why he made me use garbage software. I have to go now. When I got back to the office, Mr. Johnson looked like he'd aged 10 years. He just sat in his chair, chain smoking. That's impossible. How is that possible? I looked down, smoking my cigarette, and didn't know what to say. It's really weird, we've been using this software for so long, how can it cause such a problem? Do you think someone's trying to sabotage us? I shook my head. Mr. Johnson's gone crazy. How? We're a small company, who cares? Besides, you know tech, if someone messes with our software, wouldn't we get some kind of alert? Maybe Smith's company is actually about to go bankrupt? I chuckled. Are you crazy? A company that big just doesn't go bankrupt for no reason. Then I reminded him, Mr. Smith has 6 months. We need to figure out if we're still going to sell this software and pull all the ones we've sold so far. I took a drag from my cigarette. If we pull it, can we afford the breach of contract penalties? And if we don't pull them, and something happens like Mr. Smith's company, can we handle it? I paused. We just signed a deal with the Smith Corporation. That's the same software. If we take it off the market, the penalties will cost us a fortune. The Smith Corporation was Dead's company. The product was the same. Mr. Johnson's eyes went wide. He looked like he was shocked. Luke, you know the boss of the Smith Corporation, can you go talk to her? I sighed. I knew I couldn't refuse Mr. Johnson. I was the only one who could solve this problem. But just the thought of dealing with that woman gave me a headache. That woman was always acting flirty, and talking about being a sugar mama. No guy could resist her. Why are you looking for me? You want to change jobs already? No, Miss Dead, sorry, Fiona, I came to talk to you about something. Wow, it's not easy for you to talk to me like that. I told her everything. That the software we sold to her has problems, that we might need to delay the delivery. I told her that if she needed the product right away, we'll give her a full refund, and even a little extra. What if I don't agree? We've known each other for a while, can you please do me a favor? I didn't know what she was thinking. She just kept smiling at me. Okay, on the same condition. I'll give you $20,000 a month, be my sugar daddy, then I'll agree to delay delivery. Seriously? Being your sugar daddy? Is that a tech lead job at your company? No, the first sugar daddy. I bit back the words, you're insane. Miss Fiona, please don't make things difficult for me. Why? Don't you think I'm pretty enough? Better than your ex-girlfriend? Am I not good enough in bed? Do I not have enough money? I'm sorry, I was wrong, I shouldn't have said that, please don't be like me. She got up from her chair, and stood in front of me. I was about to get up, but she pressed me back down into my chair, and used her finger to lift up my chin. I still like you when you're being a jerk. Before I could respond, she sat down again. So, tell me, what company had issues? Miss Fiona, we have a non-disclosure agreement. Non-disclosure agreement? Just go home. You can be secretive all you want. There was no way out of this, so I told Dad about the issues with Mr. Smith's company. She listened, occasionally writing something on paper, and then smiling. After I finished, she said that she agreed to delay the delivery and told me to go back. I didn't expect her to be so understanding. We knew each other, but we weren't exactly friends. She was helping me, and I felt very grateful. Even though she was a big company and wouldn't care about our little penalty, no one was going to just give money away. Thank you so much. I appreciate you helping my company. I bowed to Ded. I've already said, I like you when you're being a jerk. If you keep doing this, I'm going to go back on my word. I didn't say another word and bolted out of her office. When Mr. Johnson heard the news, the worry on his face finally faded. As long as we didn't breach the contract, our company's money problems wouldn't be that bad, and we had more room to breathe. Our final plan was to stop selling the software and keep maintaining the ones we've already sold. If we recalled everything, we wouldn't be able to afford it. Thankfully, our company had survived another day. For the next few months, I didn't have a personal life. All I did was look for new clients and promote our company's other services, trying to get more money for the company and also preparing for the mess that was coming from Mr. Smith. Mr. Johnson was stressed out, only sleeping for 2 hours a day, trying to find new projects. When Mr. Smith's company had 1 month left, we received good news and bad news. The good news was that Mr. Smith's company went bankrupt. The bad news was that Mr. Johnson was sick. And the worse news was that Mr. Johnson's sickness was very serious. The money we had to pay Mr. Smith wouldn't be enough to cover his medical bills. I sat by Mr. Johnson's bedside, peeling an apple. After I finished, I ate it myself. It's great. The company is safe now. We don't have to pay Mr. Smith. Bro, why don't we sell the company? The money can be used to treat your sickness. What the heck are you talking about? Is the company mine? I can't just sell it. Just sell it, I'll tell everyone, they'll agree. Sell what? The money from the sale won't be enough, and even if we have enough money, I might not get cured. My team won't have a job. I sniffled. We can do it ourselves. You can't. Really, a company offered me $20,000 to change jobs. I said no. Which dumb company will offer you $20,000? He coughed a lot, and I patted his back to help him feel better. Isn't the software you made amazing? It said Mr. Smith would go bankrupt, and he actually did. What's so good about it? It's just that we got lucky. The software still has issues. How do I feel like the software is correct this time? Just rest, you can barely breathe. I don't want you to kick the bucket. I left the room and went to the fire escape. I didn't want to cry in front of Mr. Johnson. Last time I cried like this was when I found out Sarah was cheating on me. My phone rang, it was dead. I cleared my throat. Hello? I heard Mr. Johnson is sick? Yeah. Why don't you come work for my company? Your company doesn't have many projects right now. You need to make money to help pay for Mr. Johnson's medical bills, right? Okay, I didn't refuse. I knew she was right. When I arrived at Ded's company, I focused on making money. She knew I was stressed out, so she didn't joke around. We only talked about work and tech. I actually started to like Ded. I started to wonder, if she wasn't joking, we might have a chance. But I quickly let go of the thought, she was a woman that likes to mess with people. There was no way she'd be into me. Maybe it was because I was good at technology. By the end of the month, Ded gave me a card. I didn't know what that meant. Your money back. What money? The $900 you paid for me. I smiled, I didn't refuse. I needed the money right now. I put the card in the ATM, it had $100,000 inside. I immediately called Ded. The $930 is for your debt. The rest is a loan. First use it to treat Mr. Johnson and pay me back later. After that, she hung up. My hands were trembling, and I had a strange feeling. Mr. Johnson was stable, but he needed to continue to get treatment. The doctor also said he needed surgery, but the surgery was expensive. Mr. Johnson and I didn't have that kind of money. But it was already much better than I expected. The only thing to do was to make money. Mr. Johnson's company was keeping so many people employed, barely breaking even. I was the one making money. I suddenly understood Sarah. Sometimes you need money. She had no ethics and went for money, but you can't say she was inhumane. We all have different ideas. Dad helped me a lot, and I liked her more and more. I have to admit, this woman had charm. She was talented, beautiful, and when she wasn't teasing, she was a great woman. After work, I went out to eat with her, or went shopping with her. Sometimes, she showed her womanly side. If she saw a pretty balloon, she'd stop and stare. She'd try to bargain with the street vendors. I watched her from a distance, her shadow stretched out long under the streetlights, right over my heart. Tomorrow is my birthday, come have dinner with me. Okay. The next day, she took me to a 5-star hotel. I wasn't used to the warm welcome from the waiters. What would you like? I didn't say anything because I didn't recognize any of the dishes. Give us the best dishes you have. Dad didn't look at the menu. Okay, please wait a moment. The best dishes were the steaks. They were not that big. We had 2 waiters behind us. After I finished a bite, they would cut another piece for me. I was so awkward. First time at a 5-star hotel? Dad looked at my awkwardness and started teasing me. Yeah. Is it good? I made a smacking sound. The steak was tender, but it was so bland, even after dipping it in sauce. There was a tiny bit of blood. Maybe the rich people liked that. It's okay. I didn't say that it was bad because I didn't want Dad to think I didn't know good food. Yeah, I also think it's okay. Let's go somewhere else. I was surprised when Dad dragged me out of the restaurant to a street food stand. She ordered a lot of skewers. I couldn't imagine a successful, powerful businesswoman and boss would eat street food. Try this. I took a bite and laughed like an idiot. It was good. She clinked glasses with me and chugged the beer. Do you still think that people who are used to 5-star restaurants wouldn't eat street food? Okay, so she's been waiting for this. This woman held grudges. Okay, I was wrong, I'll punish myself. We enjoyed drinking this time, and the conversation was more relaxing. We were both drunk. Her face was flushed again, like the time when she was on my back. If I could spend the rest of my life with her, I think I would be happy. I'm going to go to the airport, you should come see me off. Where are you going? To the US. Why? I'm going to settle there. I'm not coming back. I dropped the skewer I was holding. I quickly picked up the skewer when she wasn't looking and blew off the dirt before putting it in my mouth again. Why so suddenly? It's not sudden. I've been thinking about it for a long time. The reason why I stayed here was to wait for someone. I didn't see him, so I'm going back. For some reason, my heart hurt, it hurt so bad. Was she talking about me? Maybe, but I didn't have the courage to ask who she was waiting for. I was probably just being delusional. Do you want to come with me to the US? I can wait for you a few days. Is that a hint? Is she talking about me? But then I thought of Mr. Johnson. Nah, I need to stay here and take care of Mr. Johnson. She ate another piece of lamb, nodded, and then drank all her beer. Come see me off tomorrow, I have a gift for you. I didn't move. I continued to eat, but the once delicious skewers were now bland. The airport. She gave me a bag and said to open it after she boarded the plane. She said it was a gift for me. I didn't care about the gift. I just wanted to look at her a little bit longer. You're really not coming back? You're really not coming with me to the US? I laughed, and she laughed, too. Yeah, we both had problems. So, this is the last time we'll meet, right? I looked at her eyes, they were so pretty. Probably. Unless something happens, this is the last time we'll meet. Can I hug you? I opened my arms. She backed away like she saw a bad guy. I was just kidding. No hugging. But give me your arm. I didn't know why, but I listened. I held my arm out. She grabbed my wrist and bit it hard. When she let go, she laughed and ran into the boarding area. I looked at her teeth mark on my wrist. It was bigger than the old scar I had. She was skipping away. Her image began to merge with the other image in my heart. Why are you leaving? Because I'm moving. So we won't be able to see each other anymore? We will. I'll come back for you. You promise? I promise. Or else you can come with me. No, when my mom gets old, I need to take care of her. What if I come back and you don't remember me? Then I'll bite you, and if I see my teeth mark, I'll know it's you. Okay. Don't be scared, though. Ow, it hurts. WAAAAAAAH. These two kids are fighting again. It's okay, they're just playing. It's just a small bite. My mom touched Ling's head. Are you going to miss your aunt? Ling didn't answer, she just looked at me and cried. It's getting late, we need to get going. Drive safe. Ling's mom waved goodbye. My mom pushed me into the car, and I looked at Ling through the back window. The car started to move. Ling broke free from her mom's arms and chased the car. You will come back for me, right? You said that you would marry me, right? That year, I was 5 years old, and Ling was 4. I lied. I didn't go back to find her. I turned my childhood promise into a joke. I turned the honesty from my childhood into childishness. No wonder she said that her ex-boyfriend was called Luke, and he was a jerk. No wonder her company was 2,000 miles away, and she still found Mr. Johnson. No wonder she said that people should keep their word. No wonder she was always teasing me. No wonder she was always helping me. She recognized me a long time ago. That day when I was sitting on the floor smoking, she wasn't staring at my cigarette, she was staring at my teeth mark. I pulled out my phone and called her. She hung up. I called her again, and she still didn't answer. I texted her. You are Ling, you're Ling, right? Why didn't you tell me earlier? I wanted you to like the me that I am now. I'm sorry, it's all my fault, I'm so sorry. What happened back then, it's all in the past. There's no right or wrong. Will you come back? She didn't answer my question. She asked me. Did you look at your gift? I quickly opened the bag, it had a pile of documents. Ling had bought Mr. Johnson's company and gave it to me. The employees, the business, everything was the same. Now, Mr. Johnson could get treatment, and the employees would still have a job. At first, I could still see the words on the paper, but then everything was blurry. I wiped my tears. Thank you. You're welcome. Your company is actually very good. We had planned to make Mr. Smith's company go bankrupt. I didn't think your software could predict that. That group of idiots didn't believe you. You guys were the one who made Smith's company go bankrupt? Yeah, but not to help you, that was part of our plan. Will you ever come back? I'm not coming back. I sniffled. You don't want me anymore after being my sugar mama? When was I your sugar mama? You gave me my salary, you gave me my company, and you solved all my problems. Isn't that being my sugar mama? Haha, okay. If I get the chance, I'll hook up with you and make sure it's real. When are you coming back? Unless something happens, I'm not coming back. I've given you so many chances, right? Yeah, she gave me so many chances, so many hints, both obvious and subtle. Last night, she was basically asking me. And I didn't realize that she was Ling. My plane is boarding, I have to turn off my phone. Take care. Maybe we'll meet again in the future. The next day, I received another message from Ling. How does it feel to lose something? It's horrible. Do you regret not coming back to find me? I regret it. Do you regret not going with me to the US? I regret it. It's good that you regret it. I'm just joking. I'm going to the US for a business trip. I'll be back next week.